Yeah, I first want to take a chance, take an opportunity to thank our fan base once again for turning out. I thought the dog walk was pretty awesome. I was concerned might not be as many people there, and there were. The fans were just as loud as they ever are, and turned out even with the heat and the climate we had. So very fortunate to have the fan base we have. I thought our kids came out. We were sloppy at times organizationally as far as substitution on defense, and we got some silly, stupid penalties early on offense. But they came out fast. They came out physical. They answered the challenge, which was to own the standard. We challenged them to say, hey, we're creating a standard here that you play to this level regardless of who you play. Now you got to go own the standard. And I really thought the players tried to do that. Sometimes holdings and that kind of thing is an aggressive penalty, but that's frustrating. And then organizationally, we got to do a better job defensively of having the right people on the field. Other than that, I'll open it up.
Kirby, I know a football game can be put in perspective with what's going on in the Carolinas right now.
Yeah.
When this game was changed, did it mess up anything routine-wise for you, or were you worried there might be distractions that could come along with that?
Well, you always concern yourself with distractions, but I certainly didn't think that at the point they made the decision, it didn't affect us. I mean, our kids are prepared to do anything. We would have gone to a movie. We didn't go to a movie. We would have had a walkthrough on Saturday. We didn't have a walkthrough on Saturday. We had it on Friday. So it moved some things up for us. But our kids understand it. And I'll be honest with you, our kids kind of embrace playing in the heat. They think it's an advantage for them. They like doing it.
Kirby, Elijah's Holyfield's obviously a guy who's had to wait his turn here for a couple of years. Can you just talk about his development and can take advantage of it?
What you see is what you get. I mean, what you guys see, he's like that every day in practice. I mean, for 2 years, you know, like I told y'all before, Sonny and Nick got all the accolades and got all the credit, and deservedly so. But those kids last spring, talking about Holyfield and Harry, and they showed me right away what they had because they got a lot of carries last spring, and they handled it well, and they were really physical. And I thought we got 2 good backs that nobody's going to know about. And I thought Elijah showed some explosiveness today. He's really hard to tackle. He's physical. Had a good blitz pickup. And he continues to work on his hands. That's something that kid stays out there every day after practice working on. And he'll be the first to tell you that he wants to overcome that as one of his weaknesses. But tell you what he's got a hard goal, and he really works. He leads by example, and the other players respect Holyfield because of the way he works.
Coach Jake probably held the ball uncharacteristically a couple times, took some shots. What was going on there on those plays?
You say he held the ball and took some shots?
Yeah, uncharacteristically, yeah, in the end zone, and then he got sacked.
Yeah, one time we got beat in protection, so that was on the protection. We're in a base protection, 7-man protection. He should be protected. He should be able to hold the ball. The other one, they played a coverage that took away what we did on the route structure, and he had nowhere to go with the ball. Would love for him to throw it away a little earlier and not take the sack there, the second one.
Kirby, how much were you emphasizing the return game, trying to break one this week, and was it nice to see McCall finally do that?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like we worked so hard on it. We take so much pride in it. We had not got return on investment, and we got some return on investment today. It didn't surprise me. It's not because we saw some kink in their armor. We worked really hard on that. Miko works really hard. We spend so much time in practice, and the sad thing is the guys that don't get the credit are the guys that do all the blocking up front. You know, with Miko, they made some people miss. With Miko, they get touched for the first 10, 15 yards. And a lot of that has to do with Jason Stanley and Tyler Simmons, who I continue to rave about with their selflessness and their ability to block. Those 2 guys do on punt return what very few guys in the country can do, which is win one-on-one battles.
Miko said that while the ball was in the air, he could hear you yelling about, did you see it coming? Did you know that was?
Yeah, we felt like if the kid gave us a kick that we could return, we were going to have a house call. We had all talked about it. We had all said it was going to happen this game, and it happened. So it comes from a lot of reps went into that.
Is DeAndre Baker playing right now? And for you, you coach a lot of great DBs. Where would you put him right now?
No, I wouldn't say today. I don't know that he got challenged. I mean, did he get? I mean, he got a pick. I guess that's what you're talking about. But that was more of a zone coverage that he was able to read the quarterback's eyes and get a big pick. So that was big. But I have to reserve judgment. I didn't see how he played today. I mean, I know last week actually he played really good. He's a good player. But I don't know today because I don't know that they challenged him much out there.
Coach, in terms of Justin Fields, what led to getting him earlier action? And the hit that he took in the second quarter, I know against Austin P a couple weeks ago, you had said that y'all asked him to take some pure hits. It's the same thing.
We ask him that all the time. We ask all our players, I mean, all our quarterbacks to not take hits. We'd prefer them not. I think he was at a point there where he probably didn't have many options. He was trying to get a first, and he's trying to create something with momentum there in a 2-minute drive. So the situation just arose like it did. But as far as planning for him, he had a good week of practice. He was really locked in. He was really focused. He prepared really well, and we think he's a good player. So we're trying to find ways to get good players on the field.
Coach DeAndre Swift didn't play a whole lot after earlier. Was that an injury or just coach's decision?
No, I thought DeAndre played the first drive. He had the first 2 or 3 carries. I mean, we rotated pretty much after that, and then once we felt like the game was in hand, we were going to play some of those other guys who hadn't had as many carries.
Coach, in the second quarter, it appeared Brandon Cox and DeAndre Walker, they got like a little spat. Do you know what that was about?
Love.
Oh, okay.
They love each other. Sometimes when you're playing football, you have spats. So sometimes when you care about somebody so much and you want them to do something right, you encourage them to do right. But they did, and we handled it internally. It's not a big deal. They're both over, and I respect both of them, and they're great kids, and really proud of the way it was handled and the way that they both have fire. They're the best teams I've been around. I sat in that stadium right there, and when I was in Alabama, and watched 2 players about kill Reuben Foster because he gave up an 80-yard run to Nick Chubb, and I knew then that we had a special defense. Well, today showed me some fire and grit that regardless of the score, the standard's here. If you don't play to the standard, then you're going to be called out.
Kirby, the guys have talked about wanting to rush the passer better. There were no sacks today, but what did you think of the pressure and what can be improved?
I didn't think we ever got a chance to rush the passer.
Yeah.
Put a stopwatch on that guy had the ball. So I'm looking more at total yards per completion and how many points they had on the scoreboard. That's what matters to me. You know what I mean? I know everybody wants sacks, everybody wants pass rush, but if you put a stopwatch on it and you take the whole offensive line off the field and don't block anybody, I don't know that we could have got there. Kirby, you better defend the pass.
You came out a couple of times in the first quarter, I guess, with Akil and Miko on punts that rolled. I think one rolled to the 11, one rolled to the 6. What are you wanting them to do there when it is not right to them and it starts rolling? What's your message?
Well, it's different every time. We've got rules of engagement. You know, if we send somebody back there during the punt safe and we're not returning the ball, we want them to fair catch it. If they don't fair catch it, get away from it, don't be near it. So in Akil's case, we don't want him around a bouncing ball. The ball is oval, last time I checked. It does not roll like a basketball. So it can hit and kick and chew, and then we lose possession. It's called a fumble. We don't want those. So what we'd like to do is have him get away from the ball, and that's what he's coached to do. And he's got to have more discipline to do that. Miko's case was different. We were trying to return the ball. We want him to try to field it, and if he can't field it, don't let it roll down inside the 10, where we lost some hidden yardage in the game where we had to start back up because of decisions of returning.
Kirby, you've talked about JJ and Jason and Tyler and Riley, all their physical blocking. To see all 4 of those guys get in the end zone today, I mean, I think 3 of them was their first ever touchdown. What's that like for you as a coach?
It was great. Great for the kids, not for me. I mean, those guys work hard. I mean, those wide receivers, they go over and work every day. They team run, they go block. And in this offense, you will continue to get rewarded if you are physical and you block. And those guys are physical and they block. And you will be rewarded if you do those things. And they were rewarded for their physicality and how hard they work.
Coach, following up on McCole, he's scored in every game now, multiple touchdowns in a couple games. Are you beginning to see flashes? You've seen some great players in your time at Alabama here, like him deserving some national acclaim this year and kind of earning a reputation as a big play guy.
You know, that's not for me to decide as far as national acclaim. I think that's something that you guys handle more than me. I respect Miko. I think he has elite speed. He's physical. He's a lot more confident with his hands. You know, the speed he has, you see it. I mean, you guys see it in a burst, the ability to make people miss. And he continues to gain confidence with that. So I'm all for our players getting all the notoriety they can, but that's not my objective.
It's Coach, it's obviously very important views with the offensive line and how it establishes itself. And how do you think it went about its business today?
thought really physical at the start. You know, some of those early runs, most of the time it's hard to run the ball early in the game because, you know, the team's geeked up, D-line, ready to go play. And I thought we had some holes, and there was a couple times Holyfield just missed a guy that had him, made him miss, and made a heck of a run twice. But our line is physical. You know, they're big. They lean on you, and it just wears on you. Protection, we had one situation where we got somebody beat on the edge. I'm not sure who it was yet, but they continue to play hard. I love the way they work. Sam does a good job with them. And, you know, with Andrew out, I think Kay got to play and continue to gain some confidence. But those guys, they work hard each and every day. They're really physical.
Well, JJ said on that long catch that there was a play that he caught earlier this week in practice, and that he wasn't the first option on that play. Is that kind of the connection and going to a third or fourth option? Is that, how big was that for the time it came in the game after they had just scored and you guys trying to answer back?
That was a big momentum play. I mean, I thought we talked about vertical passing game and being able to improve that. I think that ball by Fromm was a really good ball. It was on time. It was not the first read, it wasn't the primary read. Maybe the second, third, or fourth, but he went all the way through them and got to it and made a good throw. And JJ made a hell of a catch. So it's good for us to get some vertical passing game. And I thought Riley's ball was the same way.
Coach, in terms of the penalties that they all dealt with early, I know it didn't come back to hurt y'all in this game, but how do you go about cleaning up in the area?
Just be objective about it. I mean, we put it on the tape, show them, tell them technically what they did wrong, whether it's hands outside, hands inside, pushing the back, opening kickoff, you know, kickoff return. We got Quake Raps. We got why are we doing that? I mean, there's no reason. So a lot of us discipline, and we got to get it fixed because those things are really hard to overcome, especially when the talent level gets closer together.
Last week, Ron was asked to describe Nicole's performance last week, and he said special, with a huge smile. So I asked him this week, I said, well, can you describe that punt return for a touchdown? And he just said it was long overdue. So of course I asked Nicole, he laughed. He said, yeah, I should have had one last year. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think the first text Nicole will get it from Isaiah McKenzie, and he'll tell him about time. Because he's long overdue to score one, and if he had been tackled by the punter, we might have had to make a change back there.
Coach, what kind of things do you learn from this game when you win it pretty handily?
Well, number one thing you find out is a lot about your backups and your other guys. How are they going to play in the game? So many kids on our team want to get in the game and play, and it's so important to them to play. And then they get in the game, and some of them hyperventilate and get nervous and don't execute. So biggest thing you find out is about the guys who haven't played much. You find out how they can play and how they can perform. You also find out what level of concentration your team has and their ability to focus on the task at hand. You know, could they own the standard like I started with? And I thought they owned the standard today.
What did you find out about Cade starting at left tackle?
I don't know. I have to watch the tape. I don't know. I mean, I know he had a holding in there somewhere, and you know, I want to see the pass pro. But I reserve judgment until I see the tape.
Did you see the difference in field between the first half and the second half? I think he ran almost as much as the pass in the first half. Second half looked like he settled in the pocket. Was there a talk, adjustments at halftime?
I think he just got more and more comfortable. You know, I think early on he's a freshman. He's hyper. He's excited. He sees things well. He can come over and tell you what he saw, and that's important to me to make sure that his eyes are downfield. He's seeing the right things, and if things break down, and if there's pressure, he can use his feet to create. He does a good job doing that. But you're right, in the second half, he did sit in there much more comfortable and relaxed and did some good things.
Did Terry Godwin get dinged up again today?
I don't know that he did. I mean, he took a shot, he said, on the shin, but he probably could have gone back if he needed to, and he seems fine.
Good, thank you.
2 more questions?
The team where you would have wanted it to be through 3 games at this stage in the season?
That's hypothetical. I mean, I can't tell you that because I didn't speculate where it would be. I mean, I want them to get better, and I feel like we had a good week of work, and that was my concern going into this week. Would we get better, or would we be looking past this game? And I was proud of the way they worked. We had some really physical practices on Tuesday and Wednesday when I was concerned I'd have to start things over or redo it, or we didn't have to press the buttons. They bought into the work, so I was pleased with the work they did this week.
Ben Cleveland, obviously, if I saw him following the ball, but how well is he? I know you haven't seen the tape from this game, but you know, here's a guy who earned a starting job late last year, and it seems like, how would you assess his play and how he's doing right now?
I hadn't seen it today. I know he's played well up Miller's Point. He's confident. He's playing a lot of positions. He's the backup in 2 or 3 spots. We had some backer run-throughs today where guys ran through, and I don't know if it was on him or Isaiah, but they got some responsibility there. They got to come off their block and get the run-through so they don't get the backfield on the backs. But, I'll reserve judgment until I see it. Thanks, guys.